In a small hollow in North Carolina, there have been several Bigfoot sightings.
Hunters may need to be on the lookout for something other than deer when they hit the woods this week.
He hadn't been spotted recently, but according to these pictures, the legendary Mothman is back.
The number of UFO sightings is soaring tenfold over the past 25 years.
Now, she's not talking about people. She is talking about ghosts hanging around what some say is a real-life haunted house.
You're listening to Paratalk Radio with Ted Wolf and Psychic Cindy on Paratalkradio.com, a member of the WLFE digital broadcast family. Paratalk Radio is your one stop for all things paranormal, the unknown, and the supernatural. Join us every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central for discussions and guests on topics such as ghosts, hauntings, Bigfoot, UFOs, and more. This broadcast is rated M for mature and is intended for listeners over 16. The topics, views, and opinions expressed on our show may not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of Paratalk Radio, our hosts, or our sponsors. Now, live from J. Wolf Production Studio in Ontario, New York, here are your hosts, Ted and Cindy.
All right, everybody. So you got me. You got me right here with Mr. Invisible John. He is with us at the moment. Cindy, we're waiting for her to come in.
Cindy's in the shower.
Yeah, Cindy was in the shower. Yeah,
and she wouldn't put up shower cam. I'm very disappointed.
So, guys, you guys hear the sound all right? Is everything good there? I want to make sure that you guys are hearing this. It sounds good here. It looks good here. We are
trying new things.
Yeah, we are not on Blog Talk tonight. We are actually on Spreaker directly, and we are on StreamYard directly so that we can do this. I drove up to see Mr. John today, and I've been here since probably, 5:30, 6 o'clock. We did dinner together in Roman and decided we'd try this out and see what's going to happen.
Social distancing bullshit.
Social distancing. So I'm getting a lot of likes and hearts, so I'm guessing that means y'all can hear me. David's like, woot!
Yeah!
Woo! So, and this is really good news because some of our other sounds awesome. Well, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so let me say hi to some of you people that popped in here since Cindy's here and not here yet. Steve Berry, hello, Mr. Steve. Michelle Millens, Brett, hello, Brett. How are you? Dave Seiler, Edna. Let's see, Edna, Steve Berry, Robert White. Trying to keep up with you guys here. James Schruel, hello, James. I haven't heard that name in a while. Barry Martz, hello, guys. We have you all here. Got an awesome show for you tonight. Yes, I am at the studio. This is awesome because this is where I want to be, and I love having the studio and seeing John and having things somewhat normal tonight. Thank you, Mr. Oh yes, hello, Sheila, and thank you, Barry. He says that he can hear me loud and clear. That is awesome. So our guest tonight is Mr. Brandon Alvis, who is from the new Ghost Hunter show. So I'm hoping you guys are paying attention. You know who he is. So we're going to be doing that. We are live and on the air right here at the studio in Ontario, New York. And we're going to give you the best show that we possibly can with what we have. Sheila says she's going to try and stay awake. And Kathy DeGraw is watching now as well. So we are streaming live through all the Spreaker outlets for audio only. We are also on StreamYard, which is streaming to Paratalk Radio as of right now, which we're going to share to WLFE. So WLFE and some of the other outlets will get this after the show, so it'll be fresh for tomorrow, unless I can figure it out. And YouTube, we are actually streaming to our YouTube live now, which is on Paratalk Radio YouTube, so you can put that in there as well, so you can watch us there. Normal for us, you're funny.
There is no normal for us.
No, there really isn't any normal. So As soon as Cindy gets up here, I want to, we're going to talk a little bit and chat about a few things before Brandon gets here. Guys, please share. I don't know how the sharing works. I'm looking at your comments here. And this is awesome. It's just awesome. So it's really strange that I do not have to watch the comments on StreamYard because it's actually coming to my phone, John.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. So
isn't that fancy?
Yeah, that's really cool. So I don't have to do that. So we can, just man, I thought my heart was beating loud. Sheila says hello, John.
Well, hello there.
Hello, Jason Marble. Mr. Kenny Irish, thank you for joining. So this is awesome. Camera looks great. No fuzziness tonight, folks. The only thing that I find, John, when we're doing, like, whether I'm doing it at home for Talk with Teddy or here, is talking to the camera.
You never talk to the camera.
No, I really wish there was something there for me to look at. No. I just got a really bad thought. But,
Yeah.
Edna says hello to Ted and Invisible John. Well, hello. Mr. Joe Chase from Rochester. Well, thank you for joining us from Rochester, New York. We are actually in Ontario, New York at this moment, doing this live. Now, because of the social distancing, because of COVID-19, a lot of people are doing live feeds all over the internet that is like pounding with these things. So we know that some of the numbers have gone down on some of the shows because everybody's doing FaceTime. They're all doing this stuff.
And some of them gone up because people are bored.
Right. Stop Michael Jacksoning the Beat It. Okay.
Whoa. I don't even have a sample that I can throw up there.
Yeah,
that would be funny.
I was thinking that too.
I got Bumpkiss on that one. Shit. Damn, I'm looking through all these pages of stuff. I got nothing.
Oh, wait a minute. I do have this, John, and I think this is the one I was looking for you to get. Oh, wait. We have Cindy Poo-Poo.
Cindy Poo-Poo.
There's Cindy.
Is she joining us?
Yes, she is joining us. I don't know if she can hear. She's got to put her headphones in.
Or something.
Hi.
Oh, there you are.
Am I muting myself?
You can't hear us?
I hear you.
I can't hear you.
Oh, we hear you.
It's going to be a minute.
Know how to respond.
I'm not sure.
Give me 1 second.
Is shower cam going?
Yeah, no, she. Well, I'm going to play this while she's figuring out her monitoring so she can hear. Listen to this, John. This is the one that you don't have over there. I wish you did.
So I just listened to Ted Wolf and Psychic Cindy on
Can you hear me?
Yes.
They were funny.
I can't hear you yet.
You check them out.
It's okay.
Hi.
It might take a minute.
From laughing.
Give me a second. I'm going to actually plug into my router.
30. You will
Can
lie.
you bring me the cord, please, really quick to the
Talk
router?
Radio on
Right, on my-
WLFE DB Radio.
Oh,
Good.
you should send that to me.
I should send that to you. I should. Sheila is one that she hears everybody. So yeah, we do hear you, Cindy, but we see you, but apparently you cannot hear us for some reason. And it's definitely on your end.
Yeah. Yeah, it's on your end. Shit.
So it worked fine on her phone. So she may have to go back to her phone. We did test this earlier, folks.
That doesn't matter. See, this is what's normal for us. Problems.
Talk, Teddy.
You should be able to hear me. If not, you'll have to go back to your phone.
Bloody. Well.
So I'm just telling her that she might need to go back to her phone.
I think she got her microphone screwed up when she was using shower cam.
We have to be careful because there's no way to rate this show on StreamYard as adult.
I'm going to try and get on my phone.
Yes, that's
M.
what I'm. Yes,
It should have.
It's got to be the output on her computer for the sound output, and that's probably why
she got her volume down because she had Dorcas.
Maybe. I'm not sure. Hopefully she'll be dropping us from her computer and going to her phone. Hopefully. You can't hear us yet, Cindy? And she's going to watch us on...
Oh, wait. No, it's not on there.
I can't tell her.
We hear her just fine.
I can't tell her that... Oh, wait a minute. Yes, let me see if I can message her to turn the volume up on her PC, because maybe that's what it truly is. Maybe she can't hear on her PC because she's...
Oh, it's a double flusher.
That sucks.
Poor Cindy.
Yeah. So I just sent her a message. So
make sure she uses only flushable wipes.
Yeah.
She definitely can't hear me.
She can't hear any of us. Or just use your phone. So, I don't know if she's even getting the messages. I hope she is. But we know it works because, John, we tried it with your phone.
So I do want to use my phone, Teddy. I just am trying to send it to make a watch party or whatever first.
Okay.
Or, well, to send it out so everybody knows that it's Paratalk Monday.
Not important.
Jesus Christ!
I'm trying to share it, but it wasn't letting me.
Yeah. So, anyways, guys, that's what's going on here. We are using this new setup and
here we go.
Trying to get this all set up so that we can get our caller in here as well. So, Brandon, so this is going to be new for us because Brandon will be live on video as well as audio, which we don't normally do. We don't normally have that. And so this is going to be a treat for all of us tonight.
Not me. I turned my video off.
You turned your video?
I sure did.
Oh, my goodness. Chanel is on.
Evil Invisible John today.
Yeah, so Chanel says hello, John, Cindy, and Ted. Barry March says, it's great to have the Invisible John sound effects again. There you go.
Teddy, are you doing it to YouTube or no?
Yes.
Oh, it is going to YouTube as well?
Yes.
Oh, so now she can hear you.
I'm shaking my head. She's
seeing you.
Kind of like body language, you know.
Pissing me off that I can't hear you.
And she must be seeing all this. She just isn't. So. Oh, somebody should mess. I mean, where is it?
I don't know.
What is going on in the chat room here? Chanel says, "Yep, I do. You can put your pants on."
Whoa. Hey, now.
Barry Marsh says, "Let's keep Invisible John invisible."
That's a great idea.
Great idea. He loves
because I
that
got
idea.
a face for radio. Oh, sorry. Wow. Okay then.
No.
Oh, you got sound effects too, I see.
Dooby-doo.
Yes, I do. I have a couple. There you go. I have a couple. Chanel says hello, Elmo, or she can see Elmo, which is Ted needs the interpreter from Ohio governor. There you go. Pinky and the brain, and a voice for print. Did I tell who? Chanel, I don't understand. She wanted me to tell you, John, that you looked like somebody, and I can't remember who it was.
Uh-oh.
But remember, she doesn't know what you look like. She was one of them that said, no, John needs to stay invisible as well.
Oh. I don't know if I should be.
She's got this picture of what you look like in her head.
So I don't want to ruin it for her.
No.
Show her the real thing.
Okay.
She'll
I
scream
just shared it there.
You just shared it there.
We don't want to lose a fan.
No. Miss Elaine Vance on my sister-in-law is actually watching as of right now, too. That's very, very cool. Phil Collins, LOL.
Uh-huh. I know.
Can you sing like Phil Collins?
I actually know 2 Phil Collins, and neither one of them is the Phil Collins.
Oh, no kidding.
It's kind of bizarre.
No,
So-
damn it.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Cindy's having issues.
She's having a moment over there.
Yeah. Yeah. She is. Oh, excuse me.
Quite a moment.
Oh, that was her?
Wasn't me.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
So when is our guest joining us?
He is joining us at 8:30. So in 15 minutes, we will have Mr. Brandon Alvis.
There we go.
So you can hear us?
Apparently not.
No.
What is that?
What is that?
Stop it, Cindy.
You can't
Is
run
it from
both.
me?
That was interesting.
You can't run both of them.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
But I can't hear it.
This is classic. Come on, we had this all
So if I
tested earlier.
So if I get rid of that and I bring her up here, now we can do that.
Is she
Okay,
still
so
there?
now with
I'm
this
still
part-
here, and now I'm not muted.
Okay.
And we can hear you.
Because I had to get rid of the other stream that you had from your computer. Apparently your
Yeah.
volume's not up on that.
It is.
Or you have to go into the settings and change the settings because for some reason it's not working. But we got you now.
So what
matters.
was happening yesterday when I was on StreamYard and on my computer, because I have to be on my computer with StreamYard.
Okay.
It was not like when I would bring people up, it wouldn't if I waited a few moments, then I would be able to hear them. But
I'm not doing
other
that.
than that, I couldn't hear them until.
You did that. Okay.
Yes.
Did you even send me a link?
Hi, everybody.
Let go. Now she's back.
Now I got to sit this way.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, dear.
No, it's fine. Whatever.
Can you send me a link for this?
No, I didn't.
Oh, see.
Would you like the link?
Nah, you know what?
It's right on. It's right on.
I feel
Paratalk
really
Radio.
good being excluded.
Oh, you do.
Yeah.
He feels really good. What?
Being excluded makes me feel like I'm
Wait,
at home.
why is this still not
'Cause it
in
doesn't.
my ear?
I don't know.
Just
All
stick
right.
it in your ear.
It's not working on there.
Robert White says hello,
Whatever.
Cindy.
What's that?
Robert White says hi, Cindy.
Did you hear Robert was
Hi,
just
Robert.
as disappointed as I was that there was no Cindy shower cam?
Who was disappointed in that?
Robert.
Who was? Robert?
Yeah.
Everybody was.
Stop it.
Everybody's saying hi at this moment. Exclusively John.
Exclusively me.
Yeah, it was just you. Yeah. Yeah, it was
Okay.
just you.
Ta-dun. I can go through and say hi to everybody. Did you already do that?
You did that, but feel free if you just want to say hi. They're already saying hi to you anyway, so that's fine.
Hi, Barry. Hi, Edna. Hi, Sheila. Hi, Chanel. Hi, Robot. Hello, Joe. Let's see who else do I
You're
have.
on your
Hi, James Shruel. Hi. I think I said hi to Edna already, right?
yes. Do you hear the shark music?
Yes, of course I do. Is that all the people trying to all the people
Your sound's up on
Edna said she knows a Gene Simmons. I know a Don Johnson.
Oh.
No, I wasn't getting angry, you silly gooses. I wasn't even getting frustrated. I just was like, why isn't this working? Hi, Steve.
Yeah, we hear all the messengers like onto Cindy's phone though. She got them use her Mute
I'm
her.
gonna try and mute it. Hang on a second. Hang on.
Don't play at this point.
Ringtone and notifications. Okay.
It just got working. Let's not fuck with it.
Oh, we just lost her.
See? Exactly. Come on. Oh.
You dumb motherfucker.
Oh, boy.
I reached out to Richter the other day for my talk with Teddy to see if I could get him to come on, but he didn't answer. He asked what the topic was, but that was it. And,
he's socially distancing you two.
Apparently, I don't know. I don't get it.
Maybe he's worried, but you stick your tongue
do you know
through
what's
the
good
phone
about you
into his
sitting
ear.
right there? Because this
You can't see me, and you look right at the camera.
Well, I can see you, but it's like but at least it looks like I'm looking at the camera when you're sitting.
I figure
there
I'll just get I'll get like a Playgirl magazine, and I'll pull the centerfold out, and I'll drill a hole where the belly button is, and I'll put it in front of the camera, so the and then you'll have your eye where it's supposed to be, right? Right.
Oh, that's terrible.
Don't tell anyone I said that.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh my God. Michelle Green. Hello, Michelle Green. There you are, Cindy.
Here I am.
Oh, there she is.
Finally, so you can hear us
Ta-da!
now. Is this the computer or the phone?
This is the phone.
Okay.
But because I had to mute my things and then I hit the back button to try and get out of it, it takes me out of there.
Why would you have to mute your thing? You just took a shower. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, that's terrible.
Wait, what?
Nothing.
Chanel is crazy. She's like, oh my God, I love that idea.
What idea?
Oh, Cindy didn't hear my idea.
No, so go ahead, repeat it for her.
I said TW doesn't look at the camera enough, right? So
Right.
in order to get him to look at the camera, I thought, well, you know what? I'll go get a Playgirl magazine, and I'll take the centerfold out, and I'll drill a hole where the belly button is, and I'll put it around the camera, and then he'll stare at it.
Perfect. I'd be looking at that all the time too. Hi, Christina.
Hello, Christina. Oh,
Do you see both? Do you see are you seeing both chats for
Yeah, actually, I'm seeing
Facebook and
seeing
YouTube?
I'm seeing the not YouTube. No, I'm seeing the chat from StreamYard, and I'm seeing the chat from.
Well, yeah, but it should show up for both. Like in StreamYard, it'll bring up both for you in the chat. I believe.
Oh, you cut out there for a second, but okay.
I did.
But it's fine now. My watch party. I'm able to see all the comments from the watch party as well, and
also known as chat crap.
Chat crap, and
What? You guys are so cray-cray.
See, that's a great idea. They both would look at the camera. She's right.
I look at the camera, except I'm looking at my phone right now because I can't. So Teddy has the
controller.
He is on his. Well, he has control, but number one, he can see on screen the chat and the us, and I can't see us when I'm in chat. Well, I can. I guess it's just really light.
So Christina likes this better. I mean, she likes what we're doing. So this is actually a neat way for us to do our show.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And Christina knows because she was on my show last night and saw that she came on to my show last night so I could give her a reading. I miss you, Teddy Poo Poo.
People like to come on to you, Cindy.
You're so crazy.
He's got some issues working here. I mean, I don't know.
He misses seeing me.
What issues? Yeah, because you didn't put on shower cam.
Fuck no.
We do have to watch our language, though.
I don't care if it's pay by the minute.
We
have to watch our mouths. Why?
Yes, because StreamYard does not do an explicit or rated R thing, and it is posting on. Well, Paratalk Radio is rated R. So maybe
we are.
Maybe we are. I think. Robert White says, I think Ted likes it as well. He isn't being thwacked by Cindy. Oh,
right. See?
Anyone want to go to cemetery hopping while social distancing? Oh, hopping while social.
Cemetery hopping.
I got it.
Oh, pink full moon tomorrow.
Yep. So, actually, Cindy, I wanted to pop over and see if we are on YouTube Paratalk Radio just to see.
We are. I saw it. I was already there. That's the one I shared on my Facebook.
Oh, you did?
I shared the YouTube link. Yep.
Oh.
Yay!
Oh, we are live over there.
I know. I said, boy, did you think I was telling you fibs? Hey.
No, I did not. Oh, we are live over there.
I know. I
said. Bad thing is I can't play it because it comes through everything, so we could actually listen to ourselves again.
Please don't.
Ladies and gentlemen, another terrible idea.
So we're just gonna get out of that. So,
Chanel! It was on my. I posted it. I did it like super fast. I did it from like 9:45 to like right after midnight, and I did put it on Paratalk Radio. Put it on Paratalk Radio. I put it on my regular Cindy page and my Psychic Cindy page.
What exactly is it? The indeterminate pronoun of which you speak.
That sounds right. Wait. It. Like, what are you talking about? What it?
The link.
Oh, okay. The link.
Because we can post the link to the because when you go into YouTube, you can view YouTube and get the link and put it out there before you actually go live.
That's nice. So,
yeah. So Teddy, if we programmed this in, so you could program this in to go live for next Monday before we go live. And then there's on the platform,
Cindy, it's showing me something.
Well,
yeah. So you can go on the platform,
but it requires
you can go on the platform because when you go to the regular page, it says create broadcast, and then you can do it for advance. But then if you go into the little settings things, it says view in YouTube. And then it'll take you over to YouTube. So then you can get the link for it, share that link, and put it out, post it out.
I need a kazoo.
A kazoo?
You're welcome, lovey.
You remember on Peanuts, whenever the parents are talking, it's like,
wah, 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 wah.
I'm hearing right now.
Oh, good. Good, John. Thanks.
God. Uh-huh. So you guys, I did manage to do something really cool for the month of May for us. I managed to get us Mr. David Schrader from Holzer Files is going to be joining us in May. Which is
good. Very good.
No, I did not involve the Schrader valve. I did not.
You did not involve the what?
You know what a Schrader valve is, right?
No, what is that?
This is a little thing on your tire, allows you to inflate it.
Right. No, I did not.
Weird.
Cray, as Cindy says. Cray.
Cray.
All right. So let's take a minute here. We have about 2 minutes before Brandon gets on here. So how are things going with you, Cindy? How are things at home? I mean,
good. We're really good. Yeah. Although my birthday was on Saturday. And
birthday.
And the people that saw me last night, they know what happened. So my birthday was going great. I was dancing in Walmart. I mean, it's fine, singing and dancing in Walmart. Like, because they had some good music popping, so I was singing and dancing. And then my wallet came up missing.
It wasn't stripper music?
A boom chicka wow.
Oh, okay.
Boom chicka wow wow. I sang, you say it's your birthday. It's my birthday too. My daughter's like, I'm walking away from you right now.
Yeah. This whole social distancing things has really opened up a couple things though, because it's given us more time to work on things like this. I mean, for us at the radio
right.
show, you can see what a big fail it started off as. It's awesome.
Stop it.
For participating in our learning curve.
Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. But Hey,
But it's a learning curve. We have friends that are helping us, you know?
It is a learning curve. It's something that we needed. It's something that we definitely needed.
I think it's great. I love StreamYard so far.
Hello, my David.
Hello, his David.
There is a lot of people on my watch party. So Nora,
nice.
Fran, my David.
But I can't do a watch party while I'm on my phone. I was going to do a watch party, but I can't because I have to be on my phone now.
Vanessa, Phil, Diane, Maria, Kenneth, Adam Briggs. So hello everybody over there.
Hi guys.
And Scott Blue. Hello, Scott. How are you?
Thank you, Kathy. She said happy belated birthday.
Did you see that Scott Blue was on there?
Oh no! Hi, Scott.
Related to little boy?
No, his name is not spelled like blue, you little kook. Yes, I was dancing in Walmart, Barry.
How did that joke go?
Shoot! Robert just said that found last night someone is rebooting the Animaniacs and Pinky in the Brain.
Awesome.
Hi, Colette.
Easier than dancing
dancing on the ceiling.
Gina.
Dancing on the ceiling.
This is the new way that the shows from WLFE are working. We are look at who popped on.
Hey.
But anyways, this is the new way that the
Hi, Gina.
The Spreaker and our program here with StreamYard that we've been using is going to be, it's really cool that we're able to kind of do the technology that's coming out, that we're able to do some of this stuff. And I'm loving it. And
I'm loving it too.
Yeah.
I love that we can see our guests now. Yay!
Yeah, we couldn't before. You're right. So
no. Yeah, we could just hear them through the phone. That's so old school. I mean, really.
So Brandon Alvis, how are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you guys? Thanks for having me on.
Oh yeah,
good to see you, Brandon.
Good to see you guys.
We didn't, I just was mentioning this earlier that we here on Paratalk Radio at the studio, we never had the whole live video stuff, and Cindy just mentioned it as well, unless we brought him in on Skype. And this is better. This is much better.
Yeah. Seems cool.
Yeah.
This is great. I love it.
Yeah. Normally, Cindy, right here next to me. Normally,
I know. I'm super sad.
But social distancing. So,
fuck social distancing.
Hey,
I'm just kidding.
Such language.
I'm over it.
You're over it now?
I'm over it. I just want to be able to come and see my friends and hug everybody because I'm such a big hugger.
There's nothing wrong with that stuff. Hello, Mr. Tim Conwell. So, guys,
hi, Tim.
If you're not familiar with the gentleman that is sharing the feed with us here in the video screen, his name is Brandon Alvis. And I'm going to read your bio here that you sent me that I got a little bit. It says, always had a fascination with history. Over the years, he has spoken at historical locations across the United States, appearing in the New York Post, MTV News, Travel Channel, Discovery, and Science Channel. After purchasing a modest camcorder in 2010, Brandon began to produce web content about historical events. Discovering his newly found passion, he wanted to expand his knowledge of the film industry. After years of self-taught writing, shooting, and editing. Now, what kind of shooting? We'll get back to that. Anyways, Brandon did his first project titled, all right, so how do you say that?
Ephemera.
Ephemera. Yep. I've never even heard of that word before. I'm a redneck, man. Brandon, I'm a redneck. I don't know.
Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Okay, so I'm a country boy.
Just be quiet.
Upon its release, the project was nominated for 4 awards: Best Documentary, Best Visual at the Vancouver Web Fest, International Academy Web TV Awards, and the Ozark Mountain Web Fest. That is very cool. Continuing to perfect his filmmaking storytelling skills, Brandon has worked on dozens of successful projects over the years. His goal to bridge history with the modern audience in a Do I have that? Yeah. In a small little notice tidbit of the past and to the sharp, compelling content of the present. And he now is an active member and a new member of Ghost Hunters. So
That's right.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a great honor. It's been fun. You know, season 2 is going to be a hell of a ride, so we're excited about that.
yeah.
Nice.
So what's
I
very
do need.
go ahead.
Hang on
Sir.
1 second, Teddy. Let me just read this comment because it's fantastic. Chanel rocks it. Wow, and this guy is handsome. Yummo.
Oh, jeez. Oh, no.
And yes, Gina, we will all be on set. That would be fantastic. We're all on set together.
Yes. So I gotta ask. I mean, the guy.
You're the tech guy, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
That's what they call me. Yeah, that's what they call
See,
me.
look at I did see a couple of them.
She's all happy now. You know, it's one of those things.
No, I remember that Grant was introducing them all, and he was showing everybody and what they were going to be doing on the show and stuff. So I didn't get to watch the whole season because I got rid of my cable. So whatever.
That happens. It's actually now available for free on the A&E app and on A&E.com. So if anyone hasn't caught the first season, it's for free right now. So
Perfect.
no sign-in
I'm going to go do that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Binge it. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm going to go do that then.
I got Gina stuck up here. I gotta get her.
You did what?
Gina's stuck up on the.
Just go and hit the thing again, and it'll say hide or show.
Oh,
so if you just tap it.
I got her.
There you go, boy. Woo!
Stuck. All right. So
listen, I'll school you.
I guess. Yeah, you've already done one thing, you know, so we're good.
I know. Aren't you proud of me, Lovey?
Yeah, I am.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We've been doing this. I think Robert White, because he was saying at least now if Ted puts up Brandon's pick, we might get his name. So I have another podcast that I've been doing from home because of the social distancing. And it basically what I've been doing is showing them pictures. And they have to guess our guest from the past 4 years on Paratalk Radio. And last night was not a good game for them. The majority of the pictures that we showed of people, they could not figure out who they were because they listened to voices, you know. So
sure, right.
It's so
they
weird.
listen to voices. You mean like me listen to voices? I'm just curious.
No, because they listened to Paratalk Radio, so they heard the voices of the guests. They never saw the faces of the guests.
Right. Got it.
So now with this new
So
setup.
wait, so you did a little, like you were trying to have them piece the voice with the face?
Well, no, I was having.
Oh, that's so funny. That's fantastic.
No, you know, see how I put this up here?
Yeah.
What I did is I was showing them different pictures of different people. I would put the picture up there of people like, let's do this. I'll show you. It was a little game, and it was actually quite fun. I put
fantastic.
I put up a picture.
I know who that is.
And they had to guess who the person was. So,
okay. Well, we've had several that are like reverends and stuff, so.
Right. So I would put those
God
up.
damn, that is so fucking clever, Teddy. That's hysterical.
You are crazy. You are cray cray, as they say. What's up with you tonight?
Oh my gosh, because I miss you. Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah,
I can't see you guys if I put my glasses on.
I was just trying to find a way on the other podcast to get people involved more. Kind of like what we have to do here at Paratalk Radio. So I haven't figured out what I'm going to do with them when they win the game, but still, you know. Well, if Janelle,
did you say who that was or no? No. The picture you just showed, did you tell him who it was or no?
Well, that was Plato.
Dude, I know who it is. I just didn't know if you had said his name yet because I was going to say it.
No.
I didn't want to ruin the game for you.
That's okay. So I want to get into Brandon here. We got him here live with us. Let's do that. Let's have some fun here with Brandon as well. we have lots to talk about. Because of this whole thing with COVID-19 and social distancing, a lot of shows had to switch and go to different programs and things like we have. It's taken us a while to do this. I've had the help from Step Into the Paranormal, David Seiler. He's been helping us with his show for this as well.
Yay, David.
He has a few shows. We're going to be bringing on new shows here since we are still a baby network. But with doing that, we had to make sure that with this situation that we're in, we had to be able to find a way to broadcast. And so most podcasts now are going to video casting as well. So WLFE is fully capable of doing video cast podcasting at the same time. So we will be going live. Like right now, people are hearing the audio on they're hearing it on iHeart, they're hearing it on iTunes, Spotify, radio.com. We have 20 I think 20 different feeds that through Spreaker, it's going to other audio outlets.
Perfect.
Guys, you won't miss this. If you're used to listening to it on audio, you still can. But just to tell you that StreamYard and what we're doing, watching the show is definitely a lot more fun because you get to see the people as well as hear the people. So,
well, you could always watch us, Teddy, if they wanted to watch us. They could watch us on camera.
Yeah, you know what? The problem that I have with that is like I don't like watching our feeds. I like listening to our feeds.
Oh, I don't. I watch us.
No, I
totally go back and watch us
myself. So, all right, let's get to Brandon. So, Brandon, so let's find out here a couple things. One is, how did you get to Ghost Hunters? Did they actually contact you and said, "Hey, did you submit something?" Can you kind of fill us in a little bit?
Yeah, they actually contacted me, and my interest in the paranormal goes back a ways. I've been doing this about 16 years now, and my interest in the paranormal started in 1995 when my oldest brother died of cancer, and in 2004 I had another brother pass away from committed suicide. So that kind of sent me onto my journey into the paranormal and trying and find a possible existence of a life after death. And prior to ever stepping foot in the field, I reached out to medical doctors, scientists, engineers, professionals from various technical industries that could help me remain grounded not only in scientific principle, but to try and find natural explanations for certain seemingly natural causes for what people believe to be hauntings. And I've done that for a number of years, founded an organization in 2006 called American Paranormal Research Association. Cool. And started doing that. And they found me through that avenue. I also did a show on Science Channel in 2014. And I was on Ghost Adventures a few times. So I think that kind of put me on the radar for them. And once they found me through that avenue, they contacted me and said they were making a show. They did not tell me it was Ghost Hunters. They said it was just a show they're working on. And I met with them, and the rest is history.
Wow, that is so awesome.
That's fantastic.
Just so you know, Cindy, we're still getting some noise from your phone, unfortunately.
I just went to a headset, so hopefully it just stopped it. So I must have gotten your mental note to me.
Okay.
Because while Brandon was talking, I totally put my headset on. I got your message, Teddy Poo Poo, so I totally listened and did it.
Okay, cool. So we have people all over the world listening to our feed right now. We are able to stream all the way over to China and Australia. We have people from both those places on the feed right now, as well as different parts of the UK and the United States. We have everyone here all over the place. And so welcome to Paratalk Radio. We're sitting here and we are talking with my co-host, the beautiful Psychic Cindy, and with Mr. Brandon Alvis from the new Ghost Hunters show. So make sure you guys sit back, relax, grab yourself a cup of coffee or whatever else you prefer to sip on, and enjoy the show. I just want to make sure that some of you know, because you've been popping in on mine as well, saying what's the topic, what's going on, and this is what's happening. So now that we figured that out with Brandon and how he got into it, it's very cool because I had something very similar happen to me with Ghost Nation, which is Jason's show, and I actually did an episode with them on the first season.
Nice. Very nice.
He was there as well, which was real nice, and They were looking for something about the best episode of the season, and our episode came out to be number 1, which I thought was fantastic. It was a lot.
Awesome. Congratulations. That's
Thank
great. Very nice.
It was great. Yep.
That's
So,
awesome.
they're still reaching out asking for new cases, but unfortunately with the COVID virus and this whole thing, it's tough. So how are you guys dealing with it? I mean, Brandon, how are you guys dealing with all that?
Well, we got very lucky. We wrapped our new season just before all this kicked off. So the timing was absolutely perfect. I know it's tough to say that because so many people aren't at work right now and a lot of people are stuck at home and it's really, really tough times. But the timing for us when it came to the new season was just perfect. I mean, literally 2 weeks before this thing kicked off and the stay-at-home order really was put in place, we were done and finished. So we got very lucky with all that. So it's all done and ready to go and starts airing this Wednesday, 8 p.m. on A&E.
Right.
Perfect. So what state are you in, Brandon?
I'm in California.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you guys were tougher than us. You guys started out a little tougher, and then we caught up to you here in New York.
So you're
it's tough.
behind us. Okay, so you're
What's that?
I was just talking to the producer. I was talking to John to find out how far he's 3 hours behind us. So
Yeah. Look, he still has light skies behind him.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful out today. I can't go outside and enjoy it, unfortunately, but it's beautiful out there. Just looking out my window here, and the ocean's not too far, so it's nice out there today. So,
are you guys allowed to go to parks and stuff, or go outside? Oh, you're not even allowed outside.
Well, you can go for walking dogs and riding bikes and stuff of that nature, but it's still pretty strict here right now. So it's been tough.
Well, New York and California are pretty strict.
We are.
States.
Right now, we are.
Absolutely.
It was amazing on my drive here because I drive an hour to come to the studio, and it was amazing for like rush hour through the city of Rochester how many cars were still on the road. It was like, oh my God, it's like, I figured I'd have a nice smooth, drive 80 on the way in here because there'd be nobody on the road, and I'm like, wow, does nobody know? There's these big signs on the side of the road that say, please, what is it? Save lives, stay home, and it's amazing how many people were still on the road. It's crazy.
We were in Rochester not too long ago. We were in Rochester for the first season. We stayed there, but we were filming in Albion, New York. But we stayed in Rochester. Yeah, so we were.
Do you know that Albion has a great cemetery? It's one of them that have been pretty renowned around our area.
Oh, yeah, actually we went there. And showed.
Did you?
We checked it out. It was cool. Yeah, we saw it. We didn't. It wasn't on the show, but just the team went out and cruised around the city a bit.
I'm glad you guys got to see it.
Albion was great. I liked Albion a lot. It was a really cool town.
Brandon,
that's awesome.
In New York, there's a lot of really cool things that people don't know that are here. Because it's true that in most states, when people think New York, they think New York City. And
the city.
Where we are, it's so beautiful. There's still a lot of cows. There's still a lot of
cows.
And the cemeteries, like the Mount Hope Cemetery in Rochester, is so huge. It's
amazing.
I've seen in my life, to be honest with you. And I've been to a lot of cemeteries, and there's places from when the Revolutionary War came through. There's still battlefields. There's all that stuff. In fact, I did a 3-year study on some of them here, which is very cool. When you're a paranormal investigator, it's nice to find some of those cool things in your own state. So, guys, if you find yourself bored, and I know you're supposed to be locked up, there are things you can still do. You can go, you can look them up online. You can do all that research from home. You can still do that, though. So Brandon, tell us when again, because I want to make sure people know this. When again is the new episodes or the new season
airing?
Yeah, actually starts this Wednesday, April 8th at 8 p.m. It's going to be a 2-hour event, so we're going to see 2 hours of ghost hunters. But going after that, it's going to be going back to Wednesdays at 9 p.m. So, but this premiere is epic, and we are having tremendous breakthroughs within the paranormal field. And we're doing things that have not been seen in the field itself, nor on paranormal television. So we're very excited. One of the biggest things about this season is the isolation. We're going to what seems like the end of the earth in some of these places. Some of these locations are 100 miles from the nearest hospital. Wow. And these people are frightened, having very terrifying experiences. And they called us in to come out, not only help them, but to really figure out what's going on. And I called in a few favors from the scientific community and people I've consulted over the years, and brought in some very sensitive scientific equipment that have now given us factual data, empirical evidence that are showing us the possible mechanics behind how entities are manifesting. So big breakthroughs this season. We're very excited about it, and I can't wait for everyone to see it.
So do you
we're very excited.
Brandon, so do you think with
I
this,
got goosebumps, Brandon.
with this technology, do you think that's going to prove the existence of this stuff?
Some say that. Yeah, there are some people that we've consulted and have seen the footage that we've collected and analyzed that data and that footage, and have said that we're onto something, especially when it comes to the scientific side of it. And a lot of times when I talk about the science or I start mentioning things like that, some people get kind of freaked out by that. Some people think that the big bad wolf is science, right? But no, that's not what we're trying to do.
We love
utilizing
science.
Yeah, we're utilizing that to try and further this field, to try and prove what many already believe. And everyone's going to see some really interesting things. And I could talk about that further if you guys want to go in depth on that, since it's been announced by A&E, and we can go really into detail.
I actually think that's
Hell to the yes.
Hello, Michelle. I think it's very important.
Michelle?
I mean, with some of the things, like I've been doing this for like 34 years, somewhere in there, and I'm very old school, So
nothing wrong with that.
A lot of the stuff that in fact, I've had quite a few conversations with Grant myself over certain things, and I know that at one point, I think it was 2 years ago, we were talking about EMF and getting off of EMF and moving in the direction. And with the energies that are out there, there are definitely a lot of things, plus audio. A lot of people don't think that the audio, like infrasound, can be used, but there's a lot of things that we still don't know yet in the paranormal field, in the unknown. And I think the unknown a lot because that's what it was back in the day. For me, it was considered the unknown. It wasn't considered the paranormal.
Sure, right.
So it's still...
You're dating yourself.
I know. But you know what? I love this field so much, and not to turn it into another direction, but the hate and the backstabbing and all the stuff that's in the field needs to go away. And I think those type of people need to stay in their own little sandbox and get out of the rest of ours, because I think there are a lot of us that want to discover the truth behind life after death, and I think there's a lot of that want to see this advance. And it's amazing. It's amazing how many people don't want to see that advance. Do you find that, Brandon? I mean, there are people who don't.
Unfortunately, that happens a lot. I try and stay out of the politics of all of the paranormal field, which is a lot of it. I've been involved for 16 years now, and I've mainly been on the West Coast side of it. Been to the East Coast a lot. I've done over 200 investigations throughout the United States. Investigated in 49 states in this country. All I have to check off is Hawaii, which hopefully I'll get there one day.
Nice.
But
I
have noticed that, and I had it put very simply to me recently, where I talk about the science side of it a lot. I talk about certain devices out there that I find less credible than others. Not to say not to use them, I just find them to be not credible and something that shouldn't be used to further this field. And when I talk about those things, there's a lot said, a lot of nasty things said. And someone put it very simply to me. They said, when you say something like that, I think people take it as if you're almost attacking their religion, their belief system.
Yes.
Right.
That's absolutely the truth.
And they look at it in that regard. And that's not what I'm trying to do in any way, shape, or form. I'm just as much in this field as anybody else. I'm not an expert. There are not experts in this field. I'm just trying to do my best to further it and trying to be taken seriously, not only by the public, but the scientific community, and hopefully stepping out of the shadow of pseudoscience. That's my goal.
Well, and
I love that.
There's a lot of things, and Cindy and I, over the years here, we have discussed this with several different paranormal investigators that have been leaders in the field, as well as the people you don't hear from, you don't know. And that's one thing about Paratalk Radio. When I started this 4 years ago, was that it's not just a show about the people you see on TV. It's about the people that are in the networking that you don't see and hear from, that are working that are trying to add to this field as well. And when you mentioned equipment and things, I got that whole hair raising up on my arms
Me
because
too.
there are instruments within our field that I think that are complete garbage in my mind, and I don't use them. In fact, if people ask my advice about them, most times I say I would not use that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he
I'm
has.
right there.
He said it on our show.
I would not use that because I don't feel that advances the field. I think it actually holds us back. But
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
you know what my
I want to hear more about the science though, and that what E&E said that we can know.
So why don't we go ahead, Brandon? Why don't you give us a little tour of what you're sitting on there? Because I want to know what the scientific stuff is myself. I'm curious.
So I have worked with a man named Dr. Harry Clore for a number of years, and he's the only person in history to receive 2 PhDs simultaneously in any discipline. And he received those in physics and chemistry. And he's been a guy that I've leaned on for many years to try and keep me grounded in scientific principle and really trying to approach this field from a logical point of view, right? And trying to implement that scientific principle. So a lot of times when we start to think about the paranormal and we start to think about the mechanics of manifestations or how entities are perceived, you have to think about physics and, quantum physics and theory and all kinds of things, right? We have to start to think about that. So not only with him, but other consultants I've talked to over the years, I said, hey, if ghosts are manifesting and people are seeing these entities or these spirits, how, from a scientific perspective, would that be happening? And they said it could possibly be photon events. And I said, okay, what's a photon event? I did not know at the time. I had no idea. It was a lesson in science for me, right? So they started to explain to me what a photon event, how it's a light event that's typically not seen by the human eye, that's been observed by the scientific community for a number of years. And they think it's very possible that this could be what people are seeing. So I was provided a camera called an EMCC camera, and that is a electron multiplying camera. And this camera is used by the digital imaging scientific community to record single photon events. And we took this camera into the field and we put it into multiple situations over the course of the season where eyewitnesses, very credible eyewitnesses, were seeing ghosts or entities, whatever you want to call them. And we recorded very significant images that are photon events. Now, here's where it gets even more special. These photon events not only are light events that we can't see with our own human eye, but they do carry electromagnetic energy, which starts to go into another theory within
I
those
have
fields.
goosebumps all over my body.
And now it gets even more interesting if we start to think about it from the point of view of people that have psychic ability or have ability to see entities or see these ghosts. There are people that exist on this planet that have extra proteins in their eye that allows them to see photon events.
I want to know if I have that.
There you go. So are these
events? I can see.
Sure. Right. So are these photon events what these people are seeing? But here's the thing. Here's the big part. In this field, as long as people have been investigating, there's been a lot of case studies. There's been a lot of research. Academia has been involved. But no one has ever had particular matter associated with what people believe to be ghosts and hauntings. And we have made a tremendous breakthrough in doing that and now have provided that information to the public. And now we hope we can take it a step further.
Wow.
That is amazing. So I have to say that I think that there has to be, more than just psychic people, but because look at how many, especially children, and after the age of 5, younger children usually will see things manifest. So maybe it's something that we have, and some of us outgrow and some of us don't outgrow it.
Sure,
so
absolutely.
That's something,
it's something to think about.
Possibility. Yeah, absolutely.
And again, we can't say that every ghost throughout humanity or every spirit that people have been seeing is manifesting in the form of these photon events, but we have to start somewhere. And now we have a very particular matter, a very scientific based study where we've collected this data, analyzed this data, have significant images that we can show to the public, show to the scientific community, and to say, hey, look, there's something going on that we can't explain, and we have proof of it. So it's very exciting. And throughout the course of the season, you're going to see that.
It's very catch-22-ish. There's a lot of things with that. Well, let's just real quick.
How so? I'd be interested in what you're saying.
What I'm thinking is like we're in this field to try and discover things. Okay, we're here to try to discover, why certain people see things, why some people hear things that other people don't hear.
Right.
Why do some cameras pick up apparitions or shadows when others don't? Because it's true. You're discovering what you guys are going into. You're actually leading us to more question marks, to more now we have something else to discover. It's kind of like that. You start here, and now we have here, and what's the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one. But that's how science works, is you need to find a place to start, like you said. Now I have a place to start with that, and then we keep going on and on and on. So to me, what I'm thinking is, wow, it's like, okay, we're making an advancement here. You guys have, which is fantastic, by the way.
Amazing.
But now we're going from one to another, and it's all very cool. It's a very, I can't think of the word. Cindy, normally if you're sitting right here, you'd tell me what the word was.
I know it.
But it's just, to me, it's just like mind blowing that it's like everything else in science. You start somewhere and you start collecting data to push you to another direction. Actually, the word is arrow, Cindy, because I always say to you, in my research, I always look for something called an arrow. And what the arrow is it points you to another direction.
Right.
So you're always there, like, let's just say you're looking like this. An arrow will make you look like this. You a wider scope. It'll bring in things that you didn't
It gives a little more peripheral
or noticed before. So yeah, so in the way I do my research, if I can find something that gives me an arrow, it points to another section of all this, to where now I get there. Guess what? I may find another 5 or 6 arrows pointing in different directions, saying, well, let's try this, then this, then this, then this. You know what that is, don't you? Scientific method.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you don't succeed with the first one, you keep trying and you go over it and over and over and over, and you find different directions. So for me, I think it's very cool. I'm very happy. I was looking for something positive that was going to put this forward. Thank you, Brandon, and thank you to all the guys that worked on it. I think that's
amazing.
It is. It's amazing. I noticed, though, on a couple of your shows, and I was kind of disappointed in Grant. I'm going to talk to him about this. That K2s, you can still use K2s.
Nope, they're out the window, my friend.
Oh, they are now.
They are gone. We haven't used the K2 in the reincarnation of ghost hunters.
Oh, okay. So
that was my decision. So I'll take the flack for that.
Okay, cool. So now
that's good.
Now the EDI has some of the same technology as the K2, though.
The EDI has a far better sensor than the K2. The EDI has a far better sensor that is not as susceptible to straight radio and cell phone frequencies such as the K2.
So it's not as high in the audio range.
No.
So the 40 to 60 hertz, right? So it's taking it from there. Is that what it is?
Well, I can't give you the exact specs on it. I can't remember off the top of my head. I have to go back and look at the manual and talk to the guys that created the device. But yeah, the K2 was very easily manipulated by straight radio frequencies and cell phone frequencies. With the EDI Plus, it is such a great meter that you would have to physically take it and put it on top of a cell phone, like on top of it, to get any kind of barely like a 0.2 reading, as well as with a radio. You'd like to actually trigger it, it would barely go off. So they're not easily.
Do you know what I find amazing is that when I started using some of the advanced technology, was like everybody was. What happened there? Anyways,
something just went across your screen. That was interesting.
Yeah, I saw that too. That was really strange. But hell, where are we? We know we have.
Right.
So
there's some weird things that happen in our studio. Let's put it that way.
Oh yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
But where the hell was I? Working with some of the news at K2, and that was like the thing back 20 years.
Sure. Oh yeah.
And what's funny about that is the actual manufacturer of the K2 is right here out of New York, which is really funny. But anytime you clicked up your walkie-talkie, the K2 would go off. And people
exactly.
say, oh, well, that's normal. I'm like, well, that doesn't help with the research.
That's not doing anything.
It's not normal. It shouldn't be happening.
So I actually brought it to John, and John did his research on the K2 and
junk.
Yep, absolutely.
You can hear Invisible John, but you can't see him.
Yeah. So
well, Invisible John knows his stuff, so I like it.
Oh, he's really good. Like, I'm sure he's pretty interested in what you're talking about right now, to be honest.
Yeah, the photons. Yeah.
Yeah, when Ghost Hunters, like when we first started to film, like the day before we shot our first episode, they handed me cases and cases of gear, and I just started throwing shit out, grabbing it out, and saying, nope, not using this, not using this, not using this, not using this. And that's how it works. So, I mean, the biggest thing with us on this reincarnation of the show, which Ghost Hunters is the show that started it all, TAPS, you know, the reason the show played out the way it did was because that was the way TAPS conducted their investigation. So you have that format of going in, doing the walkthrough, meeting with the client, and all that. That's the way TAPS did their investigation. So that's why when you see the new version of Ghost Hunters, it's a bit different because we're not following the methodology of TAPS. TAPS started it all. There were some of the guys that really, brought it to the forefront. But we're a different team. Yeah, we're a different team. We come from different walks of life, so we just conduct ourselves a little bit differently. And one of the biggest things with, my ideas when it comes to investigating the paranormal and the tech side of it is that we have to use equipment that not only can give us factual data, empirical evidence, but can be tested by another technical industry where we can consult
That's science, baby.
Engineers, that people that can tell us, hey, look, this is a natural explanation to what you think is an anomaly, or is it an anomaly? So that's the big thing about the new reincarnation of Ghost Hunters, and we're really following that.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That's great.
Unfortunately, you don't see that in paranormal television at all.
No, and I'm going to bring you back because you were mentioning about Ghost Hunters starting it all. But yeah, in the United States it did. But prior to that was another show that I used.
Sorry, I had the yawn.
I used to watch on what is it? BBS?
BBC?
Yeah.
Most Haunted?
The BBC.
Most Haunted, yeah. Which,
BBC.
Some really interesting things and the way some of the stuff that they used. It was still fun. I think it was more entertainment than anything, but it was still
sure.
A good start. It was a good start to it all. We had a couple different things here. I wanted to kind of come back a little bit to. We have Catino Lima. I don't know how he's going to say it, but I know here in New York we call the last word Lima.
Catino.
But he is from Brazil,
Lima?
So I wanted to say, well,
yeah, I got that.
That is really nice to have you guys on board here. That's very cool.
Thank you so much.
Yes, Robert, I got it.
British Broadcasting Corporation, BBC. The BBC, darling.
Yes. So, I really, this is fantastic that we're actually hearing this, that we're seeing some advancements, and
so excited about this, dude. I can't even tell you.
I don't want people to get the wrong idea. When I mentioned earlier about EMF, I'm not saying to get rid of it. What I'm saying is, and you were just saying, Brandon, here and pointing at the screen, you can't see that, but anyway, what you were saying was that you did find within that whole thing that there was some EMF.
Sure, absolutely. That photon events do carry electromagnetic radiation, so there's something to the EMF theory in some capacity.
Oh shoot, that's awesome!
Don't get rid of your EMF.
Sure,
more or less. But keep
Find
it there.
A more accurate way of measuring it.
You know what?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Correlating data is trying to find environmental data associated with the EMF and really knowing how to utilize the device properly. That's the big thing, is knowing how to record and document this stuff properly. That's the biggest thing. A lot of people don't do that, unfortunately.
I don't know if you see Gina's comment there, Brandon. She says it's true. If the EDI says get dropped, one or more features will interfere and not read correctly at all.
Yeah, if you drop it, it's broken. So don't use it anymore.
Don't drop the EDI.
Yeah, don't drop it.
Well,
Jesus Christ!
And
John, you cracked me up.
Oh man! So probably should have warned Brandon that John had little voices and stuff over here.
You're
Yep.
out of touch, man.
Yeah, I know I'm out of touch.
When I swear I get the toilet flushing a lot of times.
Yeah.
There he goes.
Thank you, John.
Nice.
I want to say hi to Miss May Hernan for joining us here on the.
Hi, May.
Yeah, real quick, I want to put this out there while I had a moment to, since it's fresh in my brain. There will be a trip coming up June of 2021 where you can join me.
Yeah, I wish you had consulted me so we could talk about dates.
Well, I didn't plan that date. I did not have anything to do with that. That was on May for the most part. That this is something they offered to me where we could go to Ireland and with me. So I just want to put that out there, and we will discuss that more tomorrow night at 11 o'clock on Talk with Teddy on my other podcast. So.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry I keep yawning so much. I do not think you guys are boring.
Really?
I do. I do not think you are boring.
Bedtime for Cindy.
Bedtime for Cindy. Okay.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me how in this field there are people like you, Brandon, and your team that are actively looking in the right.
That's
because there are so many people out there that are doing this for the adrenaline rush. They're doing it to go get scared, and that's why I think like Ghost Hunters, the new one, Grant, and even Jason with some of the stuff, and Steve Gonzalez and stuff that they do. You guys are all represented up here as I don't want to say TV personalities, but you are. But you guys are
that's what it is. Yeah,
leaders. You know, you're on a leader level for this. You've become that. And it's important. It's not any different than Cindy and I with a radio show. We're considered
the same thing
as well. But well, depending on who you talk to. But we need the direction. We need the information. And in the paranormal field, instead of listening to all the garbage, sometimes the outlets do have some information. You still have to pick and choose what you follow, what you want to look into.
Mm-hmm.
But there are plenty.
You got to have a brain.
There are plenty of people out there like myself, and I'm sure at some point with Brandon, or if he doesn't already, where you can email us and say, hey, I've got an idea. I've got this. I've got that. There's always a way to reach out to everybody. So please don't be afraid to do that. And if you feel that you can't, contact me and I'll get it to Brandon. It's not a problem. I won't send you 100 emails. I swear, Brandon.
That's okay. I'm always open to talking to people. I'm all about it. Gooseby
just joined. Whoever that is, that's a cool name, though.
I like it.
Well, you know what, John? If you want to take a second and play a commercial, we're going to take a real quick commercial break, guys. So just hold on one moment. I'm just going to mute your mics for just a second. You still hear everything, but got to mute you. All right, we'll be right back, guys. Don't go anywhere.
Are you looking for one-of-a-kind handmade jewelry? J by the Sea is an online store that offers handmade sea glass jewelry. Each piece has been hand-selected off the beaches of Galveston, Texas, and the shape has not been manipulated. Visit us at jbythesea.com for unique and handmade jewelry, or email jewelry@jbythesea.com. It's not only a piece of jewelry, it's a piece of history. WLFE DB Radio is looking for podcasts to join our family. You don't have to fit any strict genre. We're a plethora of shows. If you're looking to jump on a growing network, then contact us at WLFEDBradio@gmail.com. If you're a paranormal investigator who wants more when doing your experiments, then you should read Ted Van Sund's book, Think Outside the Paranormal Box. It's based on old school ideas which have been, until recently, forgotten about. Pick one up today on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or order it directly on Paratalkradio.com. Remember, expand your investigations and evidence. Purchase Think Outside the Paranormal Box by Ted Van Sund. Also, his first book, Flashlight Recorder and Comfortable Shoes, co-authored by Keith Spratley, is available at Barnes & Noble and Amazon. Get your copies today.
Hey guys and dolls, this is Casey DeVille, the better half of DeVille Inc., Baltimore, Maryland. You are listening to Paratalk Radio with Ted and Cindy. If you're ever in Baltimore, stop in and see me and Tony. Invisible Bree, 5920 Eastern Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, 21224. Give us a call if you're in the area at 410-400-9641, or look us up on the web at DeVilleInc.com. DeVille Inc., where we specialize in you.
You're listening to WLFE DB Radio. Now, back to our program.
All right, everybody. We've been sitting here at Paratalk Radio. I am in the studio, believe it or not, and Cindy is at home. And our special guest, Mr. Brandon Alvis, who is at home in California. California, you get that? California. Anyways, folks, I'm trying to be wacky and it's just not working. I'm trying, So we've been sitting here talking about the paranormal, talking to Mr. Brandon because he is a member of the new Ghost Hunters team on A&E. And you can, April 8th is correct. April 8th is when that's going to show. It's going to be a 2-hour episode. You can check that out. And then it's going to be on Wednesdays at 9:00, correct? So that's what's happening afterwards. So make sure you tune into that and watch them. Miss Cindy looking beautiful as ever. Wait a minute. I forgot to unmute you.
That's what I was trying to tell you, you kook. I could hear John during the commercial break.
Yeah, unfortunately, there are some things we still need to work out. Like I said, this is new for us tonight, and there are some bugs we have to work out. So we have to do our science here,
Right.
So I got a couple questions that we have for you, Brandon. One of them is, believe it or not, is what was your very first paranormal experience?
That's a tough one. I went many years investigating the paranormal without actually having an experience. But I have to say, it really wasn't an experience per se as much as it was something I collected on camera that really made me start to think, hey, there's something to this whole thing. And that was in the winter of 2008. I was on the RMS Queen Mary in Long Beach.
Wow.
And I was down in the first class pool changing stalls with an APRA investigator, my organization APRA. And I was actually teaching her how to conduct an EMF sweep. It's a very basic, rudimentary aspect of investigating the paranormal, trying to find natural EMF or man-made EMF. And I handed her a mini DV camera, tape at the time, back in the old tape days, we all remember.
Yes.
And she had no idea the camera was even on. She really wasn't even paying attention to the camera. She was more concentrating on the EMF sweep. And it wasn't until a couple months later that I looked at that footage that we captured a very significant image that has been looked at and tested by many video engineers over the years. No one could figure it out, and something that really changed my mind when it comes to paranormal investigation. So the Queen Mary is a very trippy place, very strange place.
Nice.
I want to go there. It's one of the places on my bucket list.
Yeah.
I haven't been there since I was like 6 years old.
Oh, you've been there?
Yeah, I grew up
That's
down
amazing.
Oh, that's cool, John. I didn't know that about
That's
you.
amazing, John. I didn't know that either.
Oh, Huntington Beach?
I lived there until I was 7.
Nice. Nice, until you were 7. And look at you now. Where are you?
Scary.
He's invisible.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. I got a face for radio.
Somebody asked me, and I know it's off topic, but somebody asked me, do I prefer being on the TV shows or the radio show? And to be honest with you, I love the radio. I really do love radio more than I do TV.
How long have I
Well,
been?
you get so nervous. that look in the kitchen on Ghost Nation was
God.
perfect.
Do you know how many people send me emails? There's a
Oh,
part.
I do. I know.
And there's a part on Ghost Nation where I was standing in the kitchen. The guys were doing the reveal, and I'm standing like this up against the counter behind the table.
He's like,
My face was, I don't even know what, I wasn't there. My brain was absolutely somewhere else. And people kept sending me emails going, what's up with the face?
Yeah. What's the
That's
mug
funny.
on your face? What's the mug on your face?
But anyways, second question that I have for you here, it's a little different. It's kind of a technical thing.
Sure.
How much are you into the video end of all this, learning the lighting and all that stuff, and what cameras can or cannot do when it comes to picking up what we see?
Sure. Actually, prior to joining Ghost Hunters, I was a promotions producer, actually creative services producer for ABC, CBS, and Fox Television for many years. So I never even wanted to be on TV. I was always just kind of a ghost geek, had my own paranormal organization, went and investigated locations throughout the country, and kind of went into filmmaking. That's what I did for many years, just investigated every weekend, stuff like that. And once I was approached about Ghost Hunters, that's when I jumped on. But that's what I've done for many years. I was a filmmaker, so I am very familiar
That's
with
crazy.
all the different types of cameras, lighting, things of that nature. So depends on what avenue they're asking. You know, when it comes to actually trying to capture entities and whatnot, I don't think there's a very defined way to say, hey, one thing is proven over the other. I think it's kind of a right time at the right place kind of situation. But I will say, with this EMCC camera that we're using now, the electron multiplying camera, that's taking things to the scientific level. And that's something that it's a camera you can't light or can't stage. It's something that is very much built to record one type of phenomena, and that's what it's there for. So if you
That's
get
awesome.
it, you get it. You don't, you don't.
Can you imagine, John? I'm sitting here thinking, because you look like you're in a train of thought over there yourself, but I want to know, how did they? I don't know. Maybe it's above my pay grade. Wait a minute, I don't get paid. Anyways,
I was like, wait, when do we get paid?
yeah, exactly. Could you imagine being the person trying to develop a camera like what'd you call it, an EMCC camera? I mean,
EMCC.
knowing exactly what they're seeing. I mean, could you imagine? Is this something that they found by mistake, or it's just one of those things? I mean, that to me,
that's a good question.
It's mind blowing if you really think about it.
It is, and if you go online and you look it up, you can look at all the diagrams and all the science behind it, and it gets crazy. I mean, we're talking pages and pages of how the sensor and the chip works and the way it's refracting light, and it gets crazy. So someone was very hell bent on trying to document these photon events, and it looks like they found a way to do it.
What now, I know, John, you know the answer to this, but I don't remember what the name of the machine was. There was a machine that said, I want to say it started with an H, that said that this machine proved that ghosts or entities do not exist. Do you remember what machine it was? It was a big, it measured different types of energy. Oh my God, why can't I think of it now?
I do not know of what you speak.
Yes, you do. We talked about it. But anyways, there was a big energy machine. I mean, it was huge. They said that with energy, this thing had proven that there is no spirit energy or ghost energy. But I can't think. I want to say Hellcat, or I don't know. It was a weird name. But, psychic mediums have been around since the beginning of time. Different readers and so on and so forth. And like Cindy, with every civilization, and they've always depended on these type of people to give them information on the upcoming wars and so on and so forth. So we're talking probably a million psychics or whatever from over the years. I think that in some way, shape, or form, these people are seeing and hearing things. Okay. And the device, or what you're talking about with all these, that maybe that will help shine light on that as well. I mean, that maybe they are seeing and hearing some of this stuff.
Right, absolutely. It's opening a whole new realm. It's with investigating the paranormal and trying to find evidence of a possible life after death, or trying to find evidence that ghosts exist. There's only so much we could do. But no one was really out there trying to step outside of the box beyond what people see on television, unfortunately. It's kind of become the run-of-the-mill way of conducting research. And a lot of people out there in this field have not opened themselves up to scientific scrutiny, or going to these professionals and saying, hey, how should I be conducting my research?
Right.
And I think going forward, and people seeing what they're about to see starting on Wednesday, April 8th at 8 p.m., I think that it's gonna make people really rethink their stance in the field and hopefully open themselves up.
No standard, Brandon. That's the problem.
Yeah.
There is no standard for paranormal research or ghost hunters out there. I mean, that's part of the problem that we're dealing with. And I've always said that we do need something like that, but you're not going to find the masses converting to something like that.
There is a standard, just nobody will adhere to it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they adhere to using spirit boxes and SLS cameras, so maybe it's time to change over.
Right.
Sorry.
The standard would
Don't be sorry.
I don't care if they use junk tools, as long as they follow and respect and document according to the scientific method. If you're
using junk tools, you can't document it according to the scientific method.
Well, even if they
unfortunately,
have junk tools, eventually they're going to have enough data that's going to prove that the tool's junk.
So Elaine said that it's called the Hadron Collider. Hadron Collider.
Yeah, Hadron Collider. I'm familiar with that now. I hear that.
Yeah. So thank you to my sister-in-law for reading my mind.
It's usually an easy read.
Oh, stop. But yeah,
Stop
that's
it.
the thing I was thinking about. I've always
talking
sat
about the Higgs boson.
And I had talked with John.
I was reading the comments. Sorry, I was catching up.
What's that?
I was catching up on the comments.
Oh, okay. I had mentioned this to John before that I'm not a scientist by any means. I'm not one of those techie. I mean, sometimes I have a hard enough time plugging in the freaking plug here to there to whatever it needs to go to. And Cindy's worse than I am, though. But
No, I'm pretty good at I'm the one who sets up all of my shit in my house. Just me. There ain't no man here doing nothing for me, okay? Let's be real.
Anyways, what I was going to say is that, the way I look at things and the way I write my books is that I write them very straightforward and very simple because I want people to understand.
Because you're a simple man. Is that why?
I'm a simple man. Very layman, very, very, this is the way you do it. You don't need all this extra stuff, blah, 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 blah.
I have a song in my head now.
Yeah. So when it comes to stuff as a standard for the paranormal or ghost hunting, I think that if we ever get to that stage, we have to keep in mind that some of the people that are investigating aren't as intelligent with some of the equipment and some of the stuff. I guess it's the politest way to put it. I don't know. I have to be nice. So, and that goes for me because there are some things I just don't know, but that's why I'm in this field. I'm trying to figure out what some of this stuff is. So whether it be you, Brandon, or Grant, or Dave Schrader, or somebody else that's on TV right now that brings us something new as in technology, or a glimpse of something.
Sure.
We all need to find a way to wrap our head around it. So hopefully somebody else that can translate that to us people that are pretty.
So what he's trying to say is, can you dumb it down for him when you?
I think the show's done a really good job of taking all the jargon I've been throwing out right now and really simplifying.
I understood you.
Thank you.
Just
I
so we're clear, I understood everything that has been discussed tonight.
I have to. I just want to make sure that our listeners as well understand that, and I try to care about my listeners or our listeners, Cindy, on the show that they are important. They are a part of this, and they
are.
If there's something they don't understand, if I don't have the answers or Cindy doesn't have the answers, we'll find the answers for you the best we can.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I don't want anybody gets scared and run away saying I don't understand this shit. So it's one of those things. But Chanel. Thanks, Chanel. It's not like your brain is in Latin, Teddy.
Oh my God, Chanel! I need to just say something to Chanel. I didn't see your comment earlier when you said I smirked. You thought I saw the comment then? No, I saw it later when you saw me laughing when I was listening here. It was hysterical. Did you? Are you seeing it? Seeing it? No. Anyway, Chanel, I will contact you too.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So,
Love
guys,
it.
I'm going to turn this over to you guys in the comment box over here. If you guys have a question other than what I've taken already, please feel free to pop your questions in there. If it's something that you would like to ask, geez, I can't talk. Ask directly. Let me know. Yes.
Act us directly. You know what I'm saying?
You know what
Just
it is.
act us.
You know what it is. It's like I love radio, like I said, and I would be terrible as like on a normal like TV series. I think I don't know, but I know how I fumble here on the radio. I don't know how I would. First off, I'm a bull in a china shop, so putting me on film and watching me run into everything, no.
Oh, hysterical. You're so funny.
Yeah, I know. And Robert, yes, it's ask him now. Ask him. Ask him. So if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in here, and I'll get them up for you. Brandon, did you have any questions, Cindy, before I ask mine? Do you have any questions?
Go for it.
Go for it.
I love what you're doing. I mean, this is fantastic. I mean, this is something Teddy and I discuss with so many of our guests. And we've come to the same thing. Like, we definitely need that scientific aspect and proof, right? When it comes down to it, we just need that scientific proof, because it needs to be. If we can use the scientific method, it means that it has to be repeatable. Mm-hmm. So I think that is the best information that you said, that you went and it was repeatable. Amazing.
Absolutely.
Freaking fantastic. I can't wait.
We have sat here with plenty of guests on our show.
So many.
We have come.
Who loves some of these devices that we've been discussing?
Yeah. So that's where I was going. Is like we have discussed some of the devices with these guests, and it's amazing how many people still push some of these devices and claim that it's proof, and it is not proof. And some of the stuff like that is what really needs to fall to the wayside. So unfortunately, there's a division. Things are divided, I guess the best way to put it, in the paranormal community. You have the people that are really into the research, and you get the ones that are using what's available now and believing that it's true, and then you get the people that don't really care. They just are out for the adrenaline rush, and they don't care what tools they're using. I myself, I stick with old school techniques because of the fact that it's still stuff that I can record audibly as well as visually. Now, am I going to say it's proof? Most times I don't. I say, this is what I caught. See, here, take it. This
exactly.
Is what I caught. Explain this to me. And it's same as EVPs. I mean, everything, Brandon, that we've been taught or we find out, we teach ourselves, is that there are things out there like EVPs or what was one of the other ones? Got off the top of my head, I went blank there.
Getting old.
Oh, bless you, Jesus!
I said getting old. I was goofing around.
But there are disembodied voices. There are things like that still are audibly caught as well as hearing. So you look at some of the science behind some of this, and you can look it up on YouTube easily to where people are saying that EVPs do not exist. This is blah, 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 blah. And I get that. And, but then what is it? I mean, because there are points, and I've caught these myself, where I've actually heard the voice and I don't know where it's coming from.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Yes.
And then you play it back on your recorder and there it is. So, to me, it's proof that I heard something, but it doesn't prove that the entity or the ghost made that noise. So
that's the beauty of having, if you're using a device to try and capture EVP or trying to collect disembodied voices like you're talking about, right? Mm-hmm. And you're using a device, say like some of the new Zoom microphones, or say an ambisonic microphone that's, recording in 360 degrees, and you're recording at such a high bit rate that you're having more information within that recording. And what you can do is take that recording and have that analyzed through spectrum analysis, right? And you have that analyzed, and you can break that down frequency by frequency and you can really see, is it a straight radio frequency? Is it a cell phone frequency? What is the source? But if you are finding a voice that is human speech, sounds like human speech, but is not showing up within these natural or man-made cell phone frequencies, radio frequencies, but it sounds like human speech and is below the threshold of human speech, you're left with something that is not normal, therefore paranormal. So unexplainable. So that's the beauty of all this stuff, is taking this information, just as you're talking about right now, having those EVP recordings, opening that to scientific scrutiny, opening that up to scrutiny in general, having that analyzed through spectrum analysis, and having an answer there. And I think that's how we have to, advance this field.
I agree with you, and I think
That is amazing.
having the outlets or the people that have the knowledge of how to do this is also one of those things.
Right.
Like
that is, yeah.
With any of our listeners from wherever you are in whatever country or town or city or state, this is good, solid advice coming from Brandon, to where you can take your EVPs that you got piling up on those CD-ROMs, or on or CDs, and your thumb drives. If you need to find a way, I'm sure there's places that can, or people that can show you how to do this. I'm sure, right, Brandon? So it's something that.
Oh yeah, it's the beauty of the internet, right? Is you can email somebody and they tell you yes or no or not answer. So you can reach out to these people and see if they're willing to work with you in that capacity.
Wow.
And I'm willing to bet there's a lot of people out there that would, because I think there's a lot more people that are interested in this topic than people realize.
Well, I have an EVP that I'm going to send you.
Okay, perfect.
All right, so
Which one?
We do have a question here from Barry Martz. Question for Brandon: do you and the Ghost Hunters team use millimeters? We actually answered that question. They do not. Well, they don't use the K2. So I'll let you answer that, Brandon. And I don't remember from the first season if you use millimeters. So go ahead.
We do not use millimeters. There is one episode, the Return to St. Augustine Lighthouse, where we did use a millimeter, but that was not used ever again. Same with the REM pod, because it was too easily manipulated. And again, when we're working with television, you got to remember, we have a cameraman, we have a sound person, we have a lot of radio frequencies going on between keying the radio off to talk with each other and whatnot. We have to make sure we're not being manipulated in that regard. We have to make sure the devices we're using are shielded and not being manipulated like that. And that's the beauty of using the EDI Plus, which is not manipulated like that. And not only that, the EDI Plus is giving us a way in an all-in-one device to record all the environmental conditions associated with our investigation: humidity, pressure, temperature, EMF. And that's one thing that's really, integral to our investigations, is when we're going in to try and capture or document this eyewitness testimony, we want to know all the environmental conditions associated with that. And it's all recording to an SD card. And we are, data logging that, and we are keeping that information and going back and cross-referencing that. So that's something that's very, very important to us.
So hello, Filomeno. So the EDI plays a big role in your investigations then, correct? Because
absolutely,
all of that information.
Yeah, when I was doing this investigations with APRA, my organization, American Paranormal Research Association, and working with Dr. Clore, we were data logging, but we had so many different devices that were recording all this data. It's almost impossible to do that on every investigation unless you have a very large crew, someone that's out there just to set that up. But if you're there to conduct an investigation, really try and help a client, you're going to have an all-in-one device that has the best sensors available in that kind of device. So we go out there and we try and utilize that device, because it gives us a lot of proper information and really starts to give us a pattern, correlating data across different medias. And that's very important as well.
So let me just get this out there plainly. So you recommend the EDI?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we know they're not cheap.
No, they're not. It's because the sensor technology is good. It's good sensor technology. Again, it's very well shielded.
Right. And because I've heard this, and this is not to put down the EDI in any way, shape, or form, or the inventors, we have heard other paranormal people in the field claim that the EDI is one of those tools that what's better, having the 3 or 4 devices independently or having them all in one device. And some people claim that having them independently is much better than having them all in one. But But
I don't know a lot of people walking around recording pressure, temperature, humidity, and EMF simultaneously.
Right.
I don't really see anyone doing that. So,
but you know what? The inventor of the device of the EDI really was onto something, because having those all in one piece, one device, is amazing. I mean, in the beginning of goes way back, going to show my age here. When we started using, when you actually physically had to write down what you found, there was a lot of there was a lot of things, like they did ask you, temperature, what was it doing outside, as in weather, blah blah blah. There was all these things that you had to fill out, or that you should fill out, I should say, because it gives you an idea. Now, there were some extremes, like was Pluto, blah blah blah, was you know what I mean. Some of that stuff doesn't really matter to some of us, but the natural things that is directly affecting our investigations are important. And the atmosphere, the weather, all of this stuff, the barometric pressure, I can't talk, all that stuff is very important. And I find, like myself, I don't know, I'm going to throw myself off here, and look, there goes a chicken or a squirrel. But static electricity. Now, static electricity, it's always amazes me when I'm using to measure EMF on that scope as well. I mean, we were using K2s because at one time that's all there was. There wasn't an EDI, any of that stuff. But it was amazing how a K2 would be going crazy, but yet your static pods or the static equipment that you had wasn't doing anything. It was doing absolutely nothing. But yet you could charge a balloon with static electricity on your head, and you could actually see that thing move when there's no breeze, there's no, and you're checking, and it's weird. Okay, so why is that balloon walking down the aisle? I mean, walking down the hall. So there's a lot to this field that we don't know. And I've said this before, the paranormal is brand new. It's a baby. Think of it as a brand new planet. We're just now scratching the surface. We're just now getting to where there are advancements like what Brandon is talking about. And it's going to be probably past our lifetimes till we definitively come up with some type of answer of what it really is, to be honest.
Right. Absolutely.
Hello, Candace Clark. I haven't seen and heard from you in a long, long time. Philomena, thank you. Hope everyone is staying safe. Yes, they are. We did have a question earlier about the COVID-19 update in New York. If you really want to do that, we're trying to stay away from as much of that as possible, because we want to give people other things to look forward to here, and to ease their mind. It's not always about the virus right now. We want to get into some other things. So please don't take that offensively. Please don't take that offensively. So the other thing that I want to talk to you.
We're trying to stay away from the COVID.
Yeah. Now, it's very interesting that you, as the tech guy for Ghost Hunters, it's amazing because we've talked to so many different people in the field, and we really don't talk to people very often. And it's amazing that you're taking this end of it with the tech so seriously, that you're really working hard on that. That's something that is very, very, very important. That's in most cases, So I'm very thankful that you came on the show. I'm very, very happy that you were here to kind of explain a few things. And it shows that Ghost Hunters isn't just a TV show for the ratings or for that you guys are actually doing the work. You're taking and putting in the time to really make this an investigation to the scientific part, to the fact. I mean, you really want to dig into all that stuff, where I don't think many other people are doing that. They're really not offering that, if you know what I mean. I'm really finding that to be fantastic. I'm loving this so much, and kudos, kudos to you.
Appreciate that. No, we appreciate it. It's a big part of the research, because all of us come from different walks of life, different backgrounds. And when we came together, it was, we wanted to do the best work possible. It wasn't about a TV show. All of us really didn't even want to be on TV. We weren't TV personalities before. We weren't an established team. We didn't want, that TV fame. It wasn't about that. It was about doing the best work possible and all of us coming together to have that common goal and really providing the best data possible.
I am like blown away by you guys right now. I really am. This is fantastic, guys. I mean, if you have been in the field for any length of time, you would know that, especially with the TV shows, we have always said, and we do here, and I'll admit it, we tell you that watching these TV shows, it's entertainment, people. But when you find one of these shows that's actually doing the work and actually putting in the time to do the research and use a method to actually try and advance, that's important.
But you have to think about it this way, Teddy. I mean, Grant was on our show, in I think it's August, it'll be 2 years. And he was talking about how he really wanted to move forward and move this industry, so to say, forward and using different equipment. And he brought up the fact that he really was on that search and he was already starting to do that.
God, that mic is so noisy, Cindy.
It's because my son is goddamn loud. Shut the frick up, Jet.
No, it's you moving. It's you moving it. It's actually making a lot.
Is it this thing then?
Yeah, you're just making a lot of noise.
I just need to get a new mic. Shut up. No. It's actually, if I was able to use my computer, my snowball is amazing and it doesn't move and it just sits right there. But this is a silly little thing. Like,
yeah, I see that. Work on the computer afterwards. Get your sound working.
Well, stay on there and work on it with me.
All right, we will after the show.
Okay.
We've got about 15 minutes left of the show. And Brandon, is there something you would like to say to the listeners and the people that are watching this video? Is there something that you would like to share to anyone basically within the paranormal field and listening? And I don't know. That was my thought.
Yeah. Yeah, no worries, dude. The biggest thing to me is if we ever want to step out of the shadow of pseudoscience and really be taken seriously as a field, true field, not only by the public, but the scientific community, we really have to eliminate certain devices, and not only eliminate those certain devices, but actually go out and capture credible data, empirical evidence, and open ourselves up to that scrutiny and trying to find information that can be tested, that can be proven to be something that we can explain. And if you're out there using devices that say for entertainment purposes only on it, you're not using the proper device to try and move this field forward. And it's okay if you want to use those. Hey, no, there's more than that.
Wait, I have to use that for entertainment purposes only.
But if you want to move forward, it's fine to use those things. But if you're doing that for your own curiosity, your own personal gain, that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But as a field, if you're, going and trying to help a client or you're trying to move this field forward, those kind of devices have to be eliminated. If you can't have it tested by a technical industry, don't use it. SLS cameras can't be tested by a technical industry. They are created for false positives. I did an article for Tech World magazine in 2014 where they asked me about the very beginnings of using the Kinect device to try and use it for ghost hunting or paranormal investigation. And these devices are made to try and create more movement for people trying to play a video game. It's trying to find movement. It's trying to find people. Therefore, it's going to give you false positives. And then when you go to spirit boxes, you cannot have that tested. If you were to take a spirit box recording and try to break that down through a spectrum analysis, it's all radio frequencies. Therefore, it is contaminated. You cannot take that data seriously. Not to say that there's maybe some strange things that happen every once in a while, but you cannot take it seriously in any way, shape, or form. And if we want to move this field forward, open yourself up to that scrutiny. Use devices that you can consult a manufacturer, consult a technical industry to say, hey, look, I created, or I actually found something anomalous or what I believe to be anomalous. Can you explain it for me? It's the only way we're going to be taken seriously.
Yeah, absolutely.
For you there, Brandon. Says Brandon, how do you stay awake through nighttime investigations, and how many do you do during the day? People always say hauntings happen at night. That is not true in my experience.
Yeah, that's 100% true. They do not only happen at nights. The reason we do that on the show, and I think a majority of paranormal investigators do that, is to cut down on contamination as much as possible. If you go in and
Right.
investigate during the day, there's a lot of traffic. There's a lot of people there,
Yep.
depending on the place you're investigating. If it's a private home, people are there all day. If it's a business, people are coming in and out consistently. But as any paranormal investigator knows, you're out there doing a lot of work during the day, research, interviewing eyewitnesses, doing a lot of stuff. But when you investigate at night, you're cutting down on that contamination and trying to control your environment as much as possible. And I
Right.
think that's why people do it at night.
Yeah, I've got to say this because I love Brandon. I do. I have a newfound love for this gentleman because 20 years ago, where the hell were you? Now, it's like I have,
He was probably in high school.
but
maybe elementary school.
I was in high school.
4 years ago, we were talking about this stuff, and we were telling people about the camera, SLS camera. We were talking to them about the ghost box, and people were not listening, and they're still not listening. They do believe it's proof. We had an incident which these guys on the show know, and it's something that I certainly believe in. So does Cindy wholeheartedly, and we're very emotional about this, and that's the only way I can explain it because when a client comes to you and says, I have something going on in my house, can you come help me? And you go there and you do all your typical research, and then you bring out a ghost box and you throw it on the counter. Have five, hold it in, Cindy. And when you have 5 people sitting there or standing there listening to this, and the word demon pops up, and then you go and tell the client there's a demon in their house, and then you leave. Let me tell you.
Bye. You stay here with it.
I am telling you, from me,
it's terrible,
and everybody at Paratalk Radio, we will kick your ass if it happens.
We will beat the crap out of you.
Because
no, you guys are right. It's 100% right.
That is so wrong. Because a client reaches out to you and says, I need help. You go in there and you tell them it's a demon, and then you leave. Well, who's still there? The client, left with now more fear than what they had prior to you getting there.
Right.
So, you know what, people, get your shit together. See, now I get emotional.
No, seriously. No, it's dangerous. It's very dangerous. You're 100% right.
It is.
And here's the thing. When it comes to the SLS camera and the spirit box, that is the fundamental, most basic way you can say that is pareidolia.
Yes.
That is
exactly
pareidolia. Visual and audio pareidolia.
And you know how
I agree.
That happens so much. It really does in this field. And I'm not saying just using a ghost box and just using the SLS camera. Think about the other things with the pareidolia that's happening audibly and visually. And so many people get that stuff wrong. And, and like you were saying, Brandon, it's like they don't want to have their so-called evidence looked at by anybody because they don't want to be wrong. They have the golden
exactly.
And, and to some of them, that's what made them what they are today, is that one EVP or that one picture or that one, and one thing about Paratalk Radio and about myself and Cindy here is that we always tell you the truth. We bring you what we feel is our truth, and it's for you to take or throw away. But we're going to give you our opinion. And having people like Brandon on the show, or Grant Wilson on the show, Jason Haas on the show, any of these people that we bring on the show, is they are giving you their opinion. And it's an expert opinion because they've worked with them. They're not experts, but we're saying an expert opinion. We're saying that they have done the research. They're doing the research. They are working diligently on trying to get answers like some of us are. And when they give you this information, you can either run with it or throw it in the trash can. But we are telling you that we here will give you the best information that we can find and share with you. But please take that ghost box that you spent $500 on, throw it in a playroom, or throw it in the garbage, or go get your money back because it wasn't worth it. The second thing is the second thing is the SLS camera. Do you know how many people today that I know are trading those SLS cameras away for a GoPro or something like that. I mean, only because they've had their experiences and they feel that they couldn't get anything that was valuable to them. You know, so if this is happening, folks, don't spend your money. Don't. Sorry.
Not on that shit. I mean, the SLS was used for video games. It wasn't meant to be used for paranormal activity. It wasn't meant to go ghost hunting. I was flabbergasted the first time I heard somebody was using that. I'm like, what's an SLS? And I think you guys were the ones, Teddy, that said, oh, that's like the Kinects. I'm like, oh, no, you can't use that. Like, that's what they said the very first time, because I'm like, no. And I remember seeing it on ZB's show, and I'm like, is he goddamn kidding me right now? Like, that is the craziest shit I've ever seen.
But you know, and
hey, did you know that his birthday is on my birthday?
Oh, really? Well, happy birthday.
Yeah. Somebody just told me. I'm like, God damn him. Go get your own birthday.
That's why I always say that there are shows that are entertainment purposes. And when people ask me about the show all the time, I say it's entertainment. And I always, right from the beginning, if you've ever wanted to see something as real as possible, if you want to get some factual information, then watch the shows like Ghost Hunters, because they're going to give you the fact. They're using the tools. I mean, the original Ghost Hunters are definitely different than what you guys are doing, Brandon. You're in point
for sure.
Again, like you can see.
Yeah.
But you know, I love the new direction of the new Ghost Hunters. I think it's.
But Grant told us and filled us in almost 2 years ago that he was going to do that.
On it a while. He's been working on it
Yes,
a while.
he has.
Yeah.
And he had told us that he had been working on it for quite a while before that. Even before Ghost Hunters ended, he was trying to, really get them to go in a different way. And he was coming up, hard against a brick wall, and that was the tough thing for him. So he chose to do other things with his life, and so he could experiment and look at these other ways of getting evidence.
I'm going to ask Brandon a question because I just thought about something that I've been working on, a new piece of equipment, and I just want to get your thoughts, I guess.
Sure.
You know how people use the flashlight trick all the time?
Sure.
All right. And we know the science behind it. I'm going to say we do. I actually wanted to, and this is something that in my thoughts for the past couple of years I've been trying to put together, is find a way to, you know how you have the touch lamps?
Yep, absolutely.
Take a flashlight and turn that into a touch flashlight, but to where it's set outside human touch, to where it would be more to atmospheric touch or to electromagnetic touch of some type other than the human. It's just figuring that out. What do you think? What do you think of that idea?
That'd be interesting. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it'd be interesting to see if there's any results associated with it. I think that it's definitely something worth trying. I'm always open to trying anything. I'm always open to trying devices and trying new techniques. So I think it's, worth a shot. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of like, now, how fond are you of REM pods and stuff like that?
Won't use them.
Okay.
No, he did. He talked about that, how they got at the return to St. Augustine. They used them there and the Melmeter, and that was the last time they've ever used them.
So here's my other thought on that then, and sorry to kind of throw this stuff at you, but
no worries.
Now, I had always had a design for a REM pod, but this design was so it would be truly directional, meaning taking the antenna and putting them like spider legs under the REM pod and putting them out to where they would reach 3 foot, 9 foot, or 6 foot, 9 foot, whatever, for direction. Okay. And so that if it's going to read EMF or static electricity or anything that's coming towards it, that light would light up, meaning it would be directional, truly directional, not just sitting like on the table with one antenna and 4 lights that to me doesn't tell you it's truly directional. But that's another tool that I've been, I designed, but I don't have the technology, the know-how, you know what I mean? But those are thoughts that I had to where, and it would work as a point of like at the end of the antenna would have a light and then say every 3 feet it would have a light, so that if something was coming towards it, those lights would light on, and then right to the REM pod itself. The other thing would be it would have a temperature device.
Gauge.
So it would tell you what the temperature of the room is, so that by the time this so-called entity gets close enough to the REM pod, we could tell whether the temperature goes up or down.
Sure.
So, but that's my other thought. I mean, I like the idea of visually seeing something as well as audibly, I guess. And sometimes with the devices that we have, we don't have that. And I'd like to see more tools created like that, but something that people can afford that are in the field, not something that's outrageous. I mean, I'm sorry, but paying $500, and I've seen ghost boxes. I think the last one that I saw that really just made me close my laptop was, I think it was like $1,200.
Wow.
And I'm like, this is ridiculous. It's just
you buy a really nice camera for that.
Right, exactly.
In our situation today, could you imagine how many groceries you could buy and give to families that need? Could you imagine?
Yeah. Yep.
So what's Chanel got down here? REM pods are easy to trigger. You're better off using that seismic machine. So,
yeah, it's easily triggered. It's not shielded well at all. So
right. Well, it's like with the what's the device that I have?
Robert.
I know Robert's killing me all the time.
Well, he said that we were talking about my mic, and he's like, she misses the other mic in the studio. Because I would hold it and touch it, and
I have seen where a guy farted in a chair with no sound trigger on the REM pod.
Wow.
Oh my God, what?
That's crazy. I was going to say something about the EDI, which I thought was pretty amazing. I had the opportunity to work with one once, and I took it to a location and I set it on a bench. And I believe the room temperature was about 70 degrees. It showed the digital readout on the side of the machine. And I kept asking the question if you're really here with it, because you were hearing noises. So I asked, it's like, if you're really here, can you do me a favor? Can you lower the temperature in the room or near that device over there? I actually got it to do it in decimals of 5.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Yeah. And so I'm like, that's kind of weird. So it kind of helped me with the whole thing about the REM pod. I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of why I thought, why I was building the REM pod the way I would do it. I actually have a name for it, Spider Pod. And basically it would be truly directional and then have that as well. So is it something that could be created? Sure. I just need somebody that knows what the hell they're doing, because I don't. But it's it's an idea. I mean, it's something that can be tested, and if it doesn't hold up, then it doesn't hold up.
Hey, it's worth a try. It's always worth a try.
Yeah, I mean, we have to do something, and that's the whole point of being in the paranormal is trying to collect data and figure out what works and what doesn't work, because there's so many things out there. People, there are new inventions all the time, and some of them that I see, I don't even bother wasting my time anymore on purchasing them. It's crazy. But I don't know. I'm just gonna get off that. Do you have anything else to say there, Miss Cindy, before I go on to the next thing?
I was just finishing reading these comments really quick.
All right. I did want to say real quick that April 8th, it's a 2-hour.
That's also
premiere,
Robert's birthday.
Yeah, so
it's also Robert's birthday.
So it's a 2-hour premiere of the new Ghost Hunters show on A&E. And you're Brandon as well as Grant. Now, I don't know all the team members. Can you give us all the members that you have and what they do?
Yeah, you got Daryl Marson. He's one of the co-leads. You got Kristen Luman. You have Mustafa Gadalari. He's our researcher. You have Rochelle Stratton, one of our field investigators, and then Brian Murray, who's also a field investigator. But you're going to see some really interesting changes coming up here in the new season. And I think it's going to blow people's mind. This first episode, we go to this place in Arizona called Clifton. And this town is the entire town called us in. Literally, the city government said, hey, we're having significant problems out here. Can you come help us? And many of the townspeople there really, truly believe it's a cursed place. And it wasn't until we got in there that we realized not only is there some very strange things happening in Clifton, Arizona, but there was a dangerous element associated with it. And people will see that in the 2-part epic premiere. And I'm excited for everyone to see it.
Shoot, I can't wait to see it now.
We actually had Daryl Marston on the show. In fact,
Yeah,
you
we
were
did.
riding with him in the car, I believe, Brandon, when we had him on the show.
Oh, really? It was probably when we were in Clifton. I think I remember that actually.
Yeah, we were talking.
I was driving. Yeah.
Yes, you were driving. Yeah,
That's great.
yeah. I
remember that.
we had this when Daryl was on the show, so I guess we're just gonna have to get him back on here. I guess. I mean,
That's right. Get him back, man.
You know,
But just to remind everyone, the show is on A&E. A lot of people get that confused. So
yes,
A&E is the
right.
network.
I was seeing that, and now Chanel is asking what happened to Barry. Was Barry on your show?
Barry Fitzgerald?
No, the new Ghost Hunters. Was Barry Fitzgerald?
No,
he was on the.
not.
I didn't think so.
Yeah, he was in the first Ghost Hunters in GHI. I love Barry. He's I haven't seen Barry in a while, but I've hung
I
out,
know it.
drank some whiskey with Barry on a few occasions. He's a good guy. So
Yeah, so I'm very, very excited about this, and you can tell, Brandon,
gosh, yeah.
how excited you are. It's amazing how you light up and smile when you're talking about the show. So you must love everybody in the whole thing. You must love it a lot.
Oh yeah,
that's fantastic. And I am, as well as you are, and Cindy is. We are very excited to see how this goes. In fact, when I go home,
I'm so excited.
put it on record on my DVR.
Perfect.
And go from there. I mean, this
I'm
is
watching it on my phone.
this has been a fantastic night, you guys. This has been a great show. And Brandon, we love you. You're welcome back anytime. Maybe
Brandon, I love your energy. It's fun.
maybe after
Thank
the
you,
episode,
guys.
we'll bring you back.
You're passionate.
And
Hey,
tell us, you know.
hey, maybe have Daryl and I on together.
That
do it.
sounds
Yes.
all right. Well, we're gonna tell you that is your job to make sure that he knows about it.
I'll let him know.
But everybody is
Barry just asked if it was Jamestown. What does that mean?
I'm not sure either. So I'm kind of looking back on his feeds. What? Oh, Barry did ask a question. In some ways, your own body. Oh, not a question. It's a statement. In some ways, your own body is the best ghost hunting tool. It is a great tool. That's one of the number one tools. Believe it or not, especially
agree with that.
Old school.
Teddy and I can speak for both of us here. We love that. Number one, you said there are no experts.
Yep.
Right. Number two, that you will agree with the old school ways of just using your body is the best thing. And I mean,
absolutely.
And getting rid of some of these newfangled devices that don't mean jack shit.
It's amazing. I know, and this is something that I used to worry about in the beginning of Paratalk Radio when I first started this. I worried about offending people and pissing people off where they wouldn't tune in.
Oh, he still does that because this mouth is kind of a...
Once in a while. But I've come to the conclusion in most scenarios that I can't be shielded with this stuff, because if I really want the field to change and to advance, I can't keep silent.
You have to be one of those people that are choosing to lead the pack.
Yeah. And they do call me the wolf for some reason. So, I mean.
There you go.
Guess I'm the leader of the pack. Don't sing it, Cindy. Don't sing it. We know you thinking lyrics.
Leader of the pack. Vroom, vroom.
But I want to thank you so much, Brandon, for joining us here. It's been
yes, I have enjoyed you immensely.
You are fantastic. You're very informational. You have a lot of knowledge. Very sincere individual, from what I can get.
But he's actually very passionate.
Yes.
I love that he's passionate about what he's doing and what he believes, and I love that.
Yeah, and
passion speaks volumes.
Chanel has a crush on him. So, and that's so. Are you married, Barry or Brandon?
I am.
Yeah.
Well, I'm engaged, not
He's-
married, but engaged. Close enough. Same
Get
thing.
out of luck.
Do you have a child?
I do.
Do you have a child? Yeah.
I do, yeah.
Because I could swear I heard a kid in the
He's back
background.
there. He's back there. He's 2 months old, almost 3 months old.
Aw.
He's new. He's hanging out.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you,
Congratulations.
That's so cute. Congratulations, definitely. So I
thanks for having
actually
me on.
thought your child was older than that. So that's interesting.
Yeah,
So
most
maybe it
people
was
say
just
that. people say that.
maybe I just am hearing it psychically as opposed to reality.
Yeah, I'm so you're not the first to say that, so that's interesting, definitely.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
They've heard
yeah.
it at your house?
Yeah, they've heard through interviews and stuff. They're like, oh, they thought it was like a 5-year-old, 4-year-old kid, 3-year-old.
I actually thought he was about 3. I literally
most people
thought he
said
was
that.
running around the house playing.
Yeah, no, he's little. He's baby. So you're not
Oh
the
my
first
God,
to say
that's
that. So it's interesting.
hysterical.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Well, I'm gonna.
I was wondering if anybody else heard it or if it was just me, but it could be just me. Definitely could just be me.
Well, I want to say here before we end the show here that and Cindy, my phone died too, so I can't even. Let me see if I can real quick over here. I wanted to make sure that everybody knows what's coming up for next week's show, and I hope you guys will tune in. And Brandon, can you give us some ways for these people to check the show out and yourself and
Yeah.
any social,
like anything upcoming for you, like
Absolutely.
visits or anything.
Sure, yeah. The biggest thing is Ghost Hunters on A&E this Wednesday, 8 p.m. The epic 2-hour event. It's going to change a lot of people's minds, guys. I'm telling you right now, there's true breakthroughs, true scientific breakthroughs in this field. It's going to change the game as we know it. But you can also find me at my website, brandonjalvis.com. And I'm on all social media as Brandon Alvis. But if you go to my site, all my social media is there. So easiest way to get a hold of me, definitely.
So I just looked, and Barry said he thought he heard a child too. So I'm not the only one.
There we go. Perfect.
Okay, so next week, guys, we have we have a Brian Bowden. He's going to be on the show with us. He is a paranormal researcher and investigator as well. And has had a lot of experiences, and he's a technology chief informational investigator officer. Say that all and whatever.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, he works for the Bronxville Paranormal Society in New York City. So we're going to have him on the show with us. He also is the producer and co-host of the critically acclaimed Beyond the Realm radio show. So we're going to have him on joining us next week as well. So that's been a fantastic show. I can't say it enough. Thank you so much for joining us. You are awesome.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
I agree.
Us. I want to say to everybody too, because Invisible John's not here. He actually had to go downstairs, so I have to leave the picture to go do the ending for us. But
Okay.
I just wanted to say that it's always a pleasure here to have you guys joining us on Facebook, on all the other pages, and all the other outlets that we have. Thank you so much for joining us here at Paratalk Radio. We enjoy you guys being a part of our lives, and that's pretty much.
We hope you're safe and healthy.
Yeah. Oh, I did want to say to you, Cindy, real quick. Did you see the new update? You probably didn't see it, but our fine governor, they are now taking. They've asked to take all of the respirator machines and stuff out of all the other hospitals in New York City.
Well, I thought they were. Mom mentioned that to me, I think yesterday or on Saturday, that had been being discussed. I mean, I didn't know that we had dead bodies that were being placed in refrigerator trailers.
Yeah,
because there's
they
so
found
many
in New York City in the parks too, and I don't know if that's true, but
wait, what about in the park?
They were putting them in the parks or something. I don't know, Central Park or whatever, but we don't know if that's true.
That'd be terrible.
More garbage. So I want to keep this as real and as down home as possible. So and keep you guys hope, people. Hope is the biggest thing right now. Hope.
Put out good, positive energy. Don't even worry about hope. Just put out positive energy. Send out love to the collective. We are the collective. Send it out.
Bossy.
Love. What's that?
I said you are so bossy. So.
I am bossy, and I'm okay with it.
Okay. So
send out love and positivity.
I'm going to move over to the station. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Don't forget to end. Don't forget that you're staying on afterward with me, though.
Yeah. As soon as I end the broadcast, so I'm going to run over there. And Brandon, it was nice seeing you and meeting you.
Thanks, guys. Thank you,
Brandon. Thanks so much. It was nice meeting you. Oh, Daddy, we didn't say it. You got to say it first.
I know.
Before you turn that on.
Teddy, are you going to say it? Are you going to get on that mic?
As soon as I can get on the microphone, there you go.
There you go. You're on the mic. Okay, say it, Teddy.
Guys, remember that since you can't see me, I'm a bodied voice.
You are.
Wherever there is darkness, folks, there is always
light.
Thank you for listening to Paratalk Radio with Ted Wolf and Psychic Cindy. Catch us next Monday for another fantastic guest. Please check out our show as well as others on the WLFE DB Radio Network. And remember, like, follow, and share with everyone.
Join us at WLFE-DB.com for upcoming shows and so much more.